4 months had officially hit. But so now we've got the crowns and the princess and queen crowns. So enjoy that, and good job, OGP.
Enjoy it for the next 4 months.
Also in news, IntoTheRough.com hits YouTube. We posted up our first show as a YouTube video, and we should be getting the second and third shows up really quick. We're hoping to get these out fairly soon after our actual podcast goes up, and they'll have like little funny bits and stuff in them for everyone, so we do hope that you'll check that out. Also, this week we should finally be getting onto iTunes. So for all you podcast listeners and iPod listeners, you'll be able to download that for free from iTunes. Big story. The Spartan shot was invented this month. Mainly with Kibs, but I did help him fine-tune it a little bit and gave it the name. It's a hero shot using a one-wood from about 60 to 80 yards away.
The difference between a hero shot and a Spartan shot would be irons and woods, basically. Basically, the classification for a hero shot is any shot that hits the beam and gets sucked down before the top of its arc. So that's basically what a Spartan shot is, any shot that hits the beam and gets sucked down before the top of its arc. With a wood, though. And that's pretty much it.
Also, you have to be insanely awesome to do this, which is why, Kibs and I are able to do it.
Of course.
Yeah. Talk to my negative
I
29.
know of a couple other players that can do it.
We're back with part 3 of The Future of Albatross.
Alright, and once again, people, I want to tell you that this is just our opinion. This is what we think might be happening in the future of Albatross 18. This is not set in stone. We don't know for sure. In fact, if we did know for sure, people would be fired. So, just take everything we're saying with a grain of salt, and, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Alright. Now, this is kind of what prompted me to really bring this show topic up to Con and Kibs, because this just set off a white alarm for me, pretty much, when their Astro packages were changed. Now, I tried Cabal for a little bit.
Traitor.
And one thing I did notice, which, by the way, Cabal, totally not better than Albatross 18.
Sorry, Cabal.
But to get back to Albatross 18, the more important game, the Astro prices were changed, and I couldn't help but notice that with this packages, they corresponded quite a bit to the premium account packages that they sold for Cabal. And this made me think, I'm like, well, what games get hurt by losing the $5 and the $15 Astro packages if Cabal is benefited, and the bonuses? And I noticed that, Albatross 18 and Rumble Fighters were the only two games that took a beating from this. And I know Rumble Fighters has never been a big earner for OGP. Although we do sympathize quite deeply with the Rumble Fighter players.
I think the thing that really pisses people off is the fact that you got those extra Astros, and there are a lot of items on Albatross 18, and I'm pretty sure Rumble Fighter as well, that have things that are like 205. And now to get that, you have to buy the 400 Astro package, if I'm correct, instead of 200.
Yeah. And not only that, it was nice to be able to just, pop in, hit $5, get your Phoenixes and your Caddy skin and your Pang Masteries. You could do that for under 100 Astros. You could get the whole thing, and it's just like, now you have to buy twice as many Astros as what you would have been able to minimally function on.
It's basically to force you to spend more money. That's the gist of it.
Yeah, and another thing that hit me, though, was maybe they're prepping for Albatross 18 to get taken off the slate, so to speak. Maybe Cabal's going to be their go-to project from now on, and so they're just going to be looking at supporting that. And I've noticed,
their newest addition.
Oh yes, and Latel, which we don't have any idea about the Astro prices on. Also, I did try and figure out some of the Astro prices for that tank game that they've got.
Tanks. Does anyone even play that?
I don't know. I didn't want to go ahead and download it, and they had no info on the actual site about Astro purchasable items, so I wasn't sure on that. Now, again, this is just a theory, be it a far-fetched, improbable theory, but it's something that kind of concerned me, just because I noticed the direct correlation between the new Astro prices and the Cabal premium account prices.
Well, the one hole in that theory is the fact that it also hurts Rumble Fighter. So if they're going to get rid of Albatross 18 because it hurts that game, as in, taking away the bonus packages and whatnot, then your theory would also work for taking away Rumble Fighter. That's the only problem I see.
Yeah, and I do freely admit that. But like I said, the one thing that makes me less confident about that hole in the theory is the fact that Rumble Fighters has always been kind of a low income generating thing for them. I mean, because you just look at all the effort they put in it. I played Rumble Fighters for a couple of months, and just the interface is terribly set up. They could easily, take some time and a little bit of effort and get that game like really polished and looking nice, but it's almost like it's in a beta phase still, is what the game looks like. And and so it just doesn't seem like they put a lot of effort behind the game.
To Cabal, Rumble Fighter, and BB Tanks players, we are biased for Albatross 18. Sorry.
Well, one thing I did notice about Rumble Fighter is they take a lot of their costume ideas from anime. Like, I don't know if that's supposed to, like, draw people in, or if they're just lazy, like the original programmers. Like, I don't know.
Well, they do have actual Naruto costumes in there, which is nice. And I always thought Albatross 18 should have cosplay outfits, just like
they
Rumble
do
Fighters.
In their Wii video games.
And they do in the Wii video games.
Yes, and they do in Japan.
And they do in Japan, yes, and that does really kind of irk me. But let's move on.
Hatsune Miku, that's about it.
Let's move on to our next segment.
The girls and girls! Good evening, boys and girls. And now with your terrifying Mr. E-Card's Tales from the Crypt with Sangolem, Kanashimi, and Kibs.
Whew, that intro just creeps me out.
Especially when Kana screams.
Yes, indeed.
Alright, we're going to be talking about the swimsuits. So,
Dun, dun,
let's start off with a positive note. How badly did you do, Kibs?
I spent under 200 E-cards and got 2 swimsuits. And, that's pretty good for me, I think. I got Cecilia's first, and then I got Q's, and I'm going to wait until hopefully we have a new E-card swap event and switch out Cecilia's for Hannah's, because I would rather not spend more E-cards. And that's pretty much all I've got to say about that.
I was pretty lucky this time. It took me 184 tries to get Aaron, 23 tries after that to get Hana's, and then 12 tries after that to get Cecilia's. I'm pretty disappointed I missed Q's though, but maybe next time.
I went ahead and spent the E-cards that I had left over to try and get Q's outfit, or to get just an outfit and then wait for the next E-card. I wasn't too particularly excited about this one. I mean, Q's outfit is adorable, and she's the character I collect everything for, but I just wasn't that impressed with the design of this outfit, especially considering, like, I have last year's swimsuit release, which was 100k paying swimsuit, and I think that the design for that is cooler and better than the E-card rare one they've got.
Yeah.
So, I'm not gonna dump a bunch of Astros on this E-card rare, but I did try, like, almost 100 scratch cards, so.
Yeah, plus what I did like how the whole E-card exchange event did give us hope, because before I didn't know that we would have an E-card exchange event, so I would be like trying really, really hard to get every rare for the from the one E-card, so that I wouldn't have to like miss out on them. But now that there's the whole e-card exchange event, I can get one